Justin, can you tell me why your Minister of Climate Change is serving on a communist council? Can you tell me about that, Justin? Why are you pushing me into traffic, bro?
Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Pleb. In tonight's story, Justin Trudeau gets confronted in the streets of PEI. The Liberal cabinet is having a meeting in PEI right now, and they are getting confronted all over the streets by certain journalists. As well, tonight, Justin Trudeau's Bill C-18 completely backfires on him, and the media is calling him out for potentially killing people with this law. And in our last story, prisoners are now asking to stay in prison because the cost of living is so high in Canada. You won't want to miss tonight's story, so stick around. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to tonight's report. Before we start, could I kindly ask you to subscribe to my channel? I'm going to show you guys stories that the mainstream media will not show you. And with the internet censorship going on in Canada, I could use all the help I could get. So if you could subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. All right, let's get into tonight's report. I have crazy footage to kick off tonight's report out of Prince Edward Island right now, where the Liberal Party are currently having a cabinet minister meeting trying to salvage their government that's going up in flames. Before we get into this crazy footage here, I want to give a shout out to Cian Bexty, who has produced this absolute gold. Cian Bexty confronts Trudeau. He confronts Stephen Guilbeault. He confronts Dominic LeBlanc. The kid is a straight savage. Give him a follow on Twitter. Subscribe to him. Send him a donation. Cian rocks. All right, so here's the first footage of Justin Trudeau leaving the restaurant and Cian doing what he does best. Let's watch this.
Justin, can you tell me why your Minister of Climate Change is serving on a communist council? Can you tell me about that, Justin? Why are you pushing me into traffic, bro?
Justin hates Cian Bexty he hates him.
Hey, you stepped on my foot.
Why is your climate minister serving on a communist council?
Watch out. Yep.
Justin, don't touch me. Justin.
Don't cross that line, okay? That's enough.
No, you stay right there.
I'm paying these guys.
You don't cross here. That's the security vehicle.
You're paying these guys to subvert democracy, to stop Justin Trudeau from answering really basic questions.
So yeah, Justin Trudeau's doing what he does best, not answering questions from the media that he considers fake news or misinformation. And I guarantee you, he would probably put Cian Bexty at the top of his most hated list. But thankfully, Cian was able to ask some questions, just not from Justin Trudeau. He actually found a young looking guy standing outside the restaurant and kind of asked these people, what do they think about Justin Trudeau? Let's watch.
If you could say one thing to Trudeau, what would it be?
The gas, man. The gas is it's like I can't afford to drive, dude. I just bought a Ford, dude. Like it's got a V8, man. I can't afford it, dude. I don't know. I still bought it, but it'd be nice to, be able to drive it without.
Do you attribute
I still bought it. That was me at his age. Dumb as rocks. Still bought the truck he can't afford. We've all been there.
that to the carbon tax?
Yeah. The carbon tax, man. That's a scam.
Oh!
Do you think he's enjoying the oysters in there?
Man, honestly, I hope he's not.
Well, thank you for your time.
I'm
I
probably
appreciate
gonna get arrested by the Gestapo now, so I should probably leave.
Have a good night, guys.
All right,
Appreciate it. If you could say,
Man, even the youth know Justin Trudeau's a scammer with the carbon tax. I have a lot more faith in the youth these days, seeing them wake up and seeing the conservatives ahead with that demographic that usually goes very left. Thank you for these kids giving me, the pleb, some hope. Well, Justin Trudeau did not want to answer Cian Bexty's questions, but that did not make Cian Bexty quit. Cian Bexty went to go find more Liberal ministers, and this confrontation between Cian Bexty and Dominic LeBlanc is pure gold. Watch this. All right, this is the best footage so far from PEI. Let's watch this. This is hilarious. Look at his stupid face. Like he just saw a ghost here. Let's watch Kian confront Dominic LeBlanc, the guy who took Marco Mendicino's job, the new Minister of Justice in Clown World Canada.
Minister LeBlanc, could you tell me, do you know what the unemployment rate is right now?
He doesn't give a shit.
We're not actually doing interviews on a bench here.
Oh, you're just smoking a cigar while millions of Canadians suffer from wildfires and are unemployed.
No, I'm talking to some colleagues of mine.
How's the cigar?
Have a nice evening.
Could you tell me why Minister Stephen Guilbeault is serving the Chinese Communist Party?
I think you spent too much time with a tinfoil hat on.
Really, because we actually have the documents to prove it, and we know that your government has given them $1.6 million. Did you buy that appointment, that communist appointment?
Look at these assholes laughing.
I'm sorry to interrupt your cigar break.
You're not busy, are you, tonight, obviously?
Just speaking with you.
Yeah, it's too bad, actually.
Why is that?
Oh, good
You're
one.
afraid Canadians would get some answers from you corrupt liberals?
That's what they are. And I love this. Kian for sure ruined this guy's night. He ruined his little cigar date. This is hilarious. He actually had to walk away because he was too cowardly to answer a couple of questions. Like, who paid for those cigars, for the record? Did we pay for them?
How much money did this whole convention cost?
It's actually not a convention, it's a meeting.
It's a meeting of losers. A meeting of absolute losers. Okay, Kian Bexte's awesome. That was obviously savage. Let's go read a couple of comments underneath that Kian Bexte video for the record, because the comments are pretty savage as well. From David here saying, way to go, Kian. I wondered if LeBlanc was an arsehole, and it's clear he is. And he replaced Mendicino. Yes, Pinocchio Mendicino. This is his replacement. Just as arrogant. What about Flex? He's saying they're all so smug, it's nauseating. They are smug. All these liberals are smug. And Kareen says, isn't he a cancer survivor? Not a good look to be smoking, in my honest opinion. Wait, so this guy beat a rare cancer and now he's out there smoking cigars? I thought the liberals were the party of trust the science. Clearly this guy is a science denier. Or he's just reckless with his health, the way the liberals are reckless with our taxes. And in our last piece of footage out of PEI, Kian Bexte waited outside all night so he could get this interview with climate psycho Stephen Guilbeault. Let's watch this footage. Kian is so savage, but it seems like he's even extra savage with Stephen Guilbeault. Let's enjoy this one.
Minister Guilbeault, how are you?
I'm going to bed.
We actually just met in Calgary.
Going to bed, he
Hi,
says.
Minister, how are you? We were asking about your net zero policies and how they were going to affect Alberta disproportionately, and now we've sort of figured out why, because we know that you work on a communist committee based in China, based in Beijing, and in fact you pay $1.6 million for that seat. We're wondering if you think that there's any potential conflict of interest with the fact that you think China should go offline. Come on. You think China should go... No, why would you stop me from asking your question? Come on.
He's not
We
a
can be
threat.
friendly. We can be fair. This is a free country. He's not under threat. Let me just ask my question. Sure, absolutely. You can keep him safe from me.
Ah, the Gestapo.
Could you tell me, do you think that there's a conflict of interest inherently in the fact that you think China should be able to go net zero far later than we're allowed to, decades in fact? Do you think that it amounts to some sort of equalization payment to China via energy payments?
That's a good question. He won't answer it.
What?
He won't answer it.
We're being polite. Just because the CBC doesn't do this doesn't mean that this is a strange thing for a democracy.
Ah, boom.
Minister Guilbeault, could you tell me how many Canadians right now are displaced by a wildfire?
He's blocking him.
Tell me
He's
the amount of
standing in front
people.
of him.
And can you tell me the amount of people who would be displaced by wildfires if you didn't have a carbon tax?
Man, yo, Stephen Guilbeault is a short dude. How short is this guy? He's like a little climate change dwarf. He's not tall.
I think that's a very fair question. Do you have any actual data to back up what you're doing? Or
Anyways.
is it all just whatever the government of China tells you to do? Do you take money from the government of China yourself?
Okay. He's obviously not going to answer any questions. Kian Bexte is obviously an amazing journalist. I would encourage you guys all to follow him on Twitter, subscribe to his Twitter, give him a donation, go sign up to the Counter Signal. This is what journalism is all about. In our next story, it appears like Pierre Poilievre is putting his foot down and standing up for Muslim parents. In the next clip, we have a question from a journalist asking Pierre Poilievre about Justin Trudeau's divisive rhetoric, and the topic of Muslim parents gets brought up. Let's watch this.
Former Liberal minister accused Conservatives of being arsonists over the opposition to the carbon tax. So what's your response to her?
They're calling us arsonists. We are arsonists because we don't believe in climate change. How crazy is the left? Cuckoo, cuckoo.
Comment, and what do you say to climate alarmists or maybe people that say that not having a carbon tax will lead to a climate catastrophe?
What I really worry about is the increased radicalization of rhetoric by liberals, particularly Justin Trudeau.
Right.
But the nastiness and meanness that they're directing at people who disagree with their policies.
They'll call you a fascist. They'll call you a Nazi. They'll call you anything if you don't agree with them. This is 100% on the money here.
It's Trudeau's nasty comments directed at Muslim parents.
Woo!
Or
what did he just say? What did he just say? Did he just call out Trudeau's nasty comments towards Muslim parents? It's on, baby.
Whether it's Trudeau's nasty comments directed at Muslim parents, or whether it is him jabbing his finger in people's faces, and now a former Liberal minister saying that anybody who doesn't want to pay higher taxes is an arsonist. Really? Really? As if we paid higher taxes, we'd have less forest fires? Come on. Let's get back to some common sense in this country. And let's start to bring our people together instead of tearing the country apart.
I mean, he's right. Taxes are not going to, reduce forest fires. Look at this NASA footage here of Canada right now on fire. And look at the United States. They don't pay carbon taxes, yet our country's the one on fire, and you want us to pay more taxes to your incompetent government? Get out of here. Even Food Professor put this out, Kelowna on the left. That's in 2003 versus 2023. 20 years later, same place, same fire. But they want you to think that this is climate change doing it, right? And you ask yourself, Pleb, okay, what was the difference between the 2003 fire and the 2023 fire? Let me tell you right now, the 2003 fire was approximately 25,000 hectares. And this fire yesterday was 7,000. But you're telling us these are the worst forest fires we've ever seen? BS. But if you don't believe it yourself, this climate crisis, listen to our ex-environmental minister, Catherine McKenna, drunk at a bar, telling Canadians that if you repeat it and say it louder, that is your talking point and they'll believe it. Watch, right from the horse's mouth, Catherine McKenna.
I actually gave them some real advice. I said that if you actually say it louder, we've learned in the House of Commons, if you repeat it, if you say it louder, if that is your talking point, people will totally believe it.
People will totally believe it. Hey, guess what, Catherine? You can keep talking about climate change and climate crisis. I'm still not going to believe it, so keep repeating it, and I'll keep laughing. And as far as Poilievre's remarks go about Justin Trudeau's nasty comments towards Muslim parents and their fight for parental rights, it's a great time to remind you guys that on September 20th will be the Million Man March, where Muslim parents are going to come out and march against Justin Trudeau and the woke ideology that has taken over Canada. The Million March for Children.
This message is for every Canadian from coast to coast who has kids they sincerely love and want to see them grow to be someone someday. Under a woke agenda that seeks to sexualize kids and decapitate them and change their sexualities to achieve one political agenda. Join us Wednesday, September 20th, brothers and sisters, at 9 a.m. from coast to coast to say finally, hands off our kids. God bless you and God keep our land glorious and free.
Are you guys going to be at the march on September 20th? It's happening all over Canada. Let me know in the comments down below if you plan on attending this. And in our next story, Justin Trudeau is out in front of the media blaming Facebook now for the laws that he passed. Let's watch a little bit. I won't play the whole clip because I know he's insufferable. Let's watch Justin Trudeau try to blame big tech for his screw up.
Questions about whether they've lost their homes, about whether they need to evacuate, about how things are going, and that's where local news is so important. And the work that people are doing to share messages and keep people informed with safe, up-to-date information is unbelievably essential to keeping Canadians safe. That's why, and I'm going to make a comment on this, it is so inconceivable.
Oh, here we go.
That a company like Facebook.
Facebook, not your own government that passed a law. It's Facebook, the bad person, the bad guy in this story now, Justin. Facebook. They're not the one. They're actually law-abiding corporation. They're following the law. Okay, you put out a law, they're following it. It's Facebook. What a doofus.
Is choosing to put corporate profits ahead of ensuring that local news organizations can get up-to-date information to Canadians and reach them.
Corporate profits. You're literally trying to shake down Facebook and Instagram and Meta, getting them to subsidize your propaganda media machine, and they said no. And now you're blaming them for this. You're blaming them. This is on you.
Where Canadians...
Like, man, he literally wants Mark Zuckerberg to subsidize his propaganda machine. How crazy is this? How crazy?
Spend a lot of their time online, on social media, on Facebook. Facebook made billions of dollars in profits.
Sounds like Jagmeet
over the
now.
past years.
Jagmeet.
Including off of Canadians.
Okay. Don't you just love watching a liberal plan just blow up in their face? Like this meme here perfectly covers it. The one that Cat Canada put out. Trudeau libs, Bill C-18 shooting online news. Why would Meta do this? They didn't. Meta's following the law. They're just not going to pay the extortion to the Trudeau mafia. And good for them. They shouldn't. They shouldn't be funding a government propaganda machine known as the Canadian mainstream media. And with things looking so bad in Canada right now, Pierre Poilievre is competitive in Quebec, only trailing Justin Trudeau by a couple of points, something that people thought would be impossible. Pierre may actually win in Quebec. But you want to know why Pierre may win in Quebec? Because the cost of living is out of control. People can't even afford to live in this country. Watch this story here where basically prisoners are now asking to stay in prison because Canada is too expensive to live in. Don't believe me? Watch the clip. Man, how broken is this country when prisoners want to stay in prison because life is too expensive? Let's watch a clip.
Prisoners in BC are reportedly asking for extensions to their jail sentences due to the province's housing crisis. Because the average home prices in Vancouver is almost $1.5 million, and the average rent for a one-bedroom is $3,000. And BC is one of the provinces with the largest homeless population, with over 9,000 people experiencing homelessness.
Did you seriously ever think there would be a time where prisoners want to stay in prison because Canada's too expensive to live in? Absolutely nuts. And in our last story, it appears that Justin Trudeau is heading to Alberta this weekend to get heckled. No, just kidding. He's heading to Alberta for a Liberal Party fundraiser at the Edmonton Convention Center at 3 o'clock, and the tickets are only $1,000. What a deal to meet the God himself, Justin Trudeau. So that's a wrap for today's video. Let me ask you a question. Do you support the Muslims and the Christians who are going to stage the walkout on September 20th for the Million Man March? Do you support the Muslims? Let me know in the comments down below. If you guys enjoyed this type of coverage, as usual, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to my videos. It helps out a lot. You can even buy me a membership to my channel if you guys want to support me any further. That would be cool. My name is the Pleb. This was today's report, and I'll see you at the next one. Peace.